What's good? What's good, YouTube, Twitch? It's your boy Dgotsauce, and I'm back with another video, another live stream. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate y'all viewership. Make sure you guys leave a like on the stream, and make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you're new. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. We are live, episode 26, and oh boy, do we got some topics to talk about today. Um, I was contemplating coming on tonight because I'm a little tired tonight, so I'm probably not gonna be on here too long. But there was some stuff that came up on my feed and that people have been sending me, and I just was like, man, I gotta talk about this. I gotta talk about this. So thank you guys for tuning in again. If you're with me, make sure you guys say what's up in the chat, and if y'all are watching this on the replay, make sure you guys leave some comments also. We gonna get started though, man. We gonna get started. Uh, we gonna get started. It is Thursday. Sorry, it is Wednesday. Um, February 28th, and we are on a roll with this thing. We're still going strong. We're here consistently posting every day. So make sure you guys check out all the videos, if not all your favorite videos, and let me know where you guys met me from, which videos took your attention, and why did you follow me, and all this good stuff. Because I like to hear from the people that support your boy. I don't wanna ever seem like I don't care or that I'm not reading the comments. I read almost every single comment, and I try to get back to everybody that I can. So we liking this little journey that we doing. We growing every single day, and we gonna keep pushing forward all 2024. And that is the motto: all gas, no brakes. All gas, no brakes. But we're gonna get into this first video, man. And our president is back in the headlines. This is some news from the black side of town. Apparently, President Trump has gotten the black voters to come to his side. I guess Black America is waking up, and they are no longer um, thinking that the Democratic Party is all that in a bag of chips. So let's tune into this video and see what's going on in the Black America when it comes to Trump.
On the eve of the primary here in Columbia, the Black Conservative Federation held their annual honors gala, where Trump made his plea to the community.
If you want strong borders, safe neighborhoods, rising wages, good jobs, great education, and the return of the American dream, then congratulations, you are a Republican. It's pretty simple. Joe Biden and the radical left have abandoned everything Black Americans care about. They've really let you down. Look, we all understand it. They've thrown Black Americans overboard, and it's been not a pretty thing to watch. You take a look at some of these inner cities, but I and the Republican Party will fight for the Black community like you have never had anybody fight for you before.
Fox and Friends co-host Lawrence Jones was there.
That's what a lot of black people want to hear. That's what a lot of black people want to hear from President Trump. And it seems like a lot of people are waking up over on this side. It seems like a lot of people are starting to become more conservative than they are liberal on this side. And it's very interesting to see what's going on, this shift that is happening in politics. But let's continue and see what's going on.
Talking to attendees as well as the President of the United States, and he joins us now. What's up, man?
Hey, good morning, family. So I've been talking about it for a while. You need someone to go into the community that's electric. You can't have the stale, typical Republican Party.
Don't send Mitch McConnell.
You can't send him. You're not going to win black voters that way. There's this new wave of people, and they call themselves Trumpicans. They're not typical Republicans, but they like his style, they like his tenor, they like the economy, and they like what he's going to do on the border. I had the opportunity to talk with some black Republicans yesterday. They're going to vote for Donald Trump. This is what they have to say. Watch. Biggest event of the year. Looks like there is a massive support around black voters going to Donald Trump. Why is that?
The black community wants a leader who has the energy to actually go to bat for the issues that they want to fight for. And we see that in Donald Trump. We don't necessarily see that from Joe Biden. President Donald Trump is visible. He's taking challenging questions, and the people feel like if he's reelected, that he'll have the energy, he'll have the charisma to get up and go and fight for the issues.
What do you think is going to be the #1 issue that drives black folks to the polls?
Well, it has to be the economy. I think everyone is suffering right now.
Economy. You can't fool what happens at the grocery store.
We have a lot of people in the room today from Chicago. We have people from New York, and we have also have people that are in Texas, from where you're from, that are tired of what we're seeing with the migrant issue.
Joe Biden's policies are putting, illegal immigrants ahead of the urban voters, of the black community here.
So it looks like there's a
Everybody's got the same talking points when it comes to why they are not messing with the Democratic Party. And it is clear as day that a lot of people are upset about this migrant crisis. Whether you're black, whether you're white, whether you're damn near Hispanic, man, it don't matter. As long as you were here in America first, they want America to come first. And I fully understand. But let's continue.
shift amongst black folks, and it looks like more and more are going for the Republican Party. Why now?
I think the Biden administration has really, in the last 4 years, I was just having a conversation at the table. It's like the whole house is in shambles.
I think most black people are trying to look for something different. And a lot of us are waking up, especially black men, and we're waking up to what the Democrat Party has been doing to us for so many years.
You can see what Biden is doing right now, making promises, but in reality, nothing is changing. We've been hearing hope and change for a long time now, and there hasn't been a real hope and change at the ground level.
President Trump is the only person that can get the job done.
He's in the communities. He's actually putting forth an effort to capture the black vote. He's putting forth an effort to fight for the issues that we've been pushing for decades.
Black people just need to come and realize that the Republican Party is not the enemy. And really just pay attention to what's going on, the pure facts of what's going on right now with this administration. It is time to really just open your eyes, and the Republican Party is not the enemy. It's good on this side of the fence.
Y'all heard it from her. It's good on that side of the fence. I'm excited to see what's going to happen November 5th. November 5th is a big day. It's a big day this year. Not only is it your boy's birthday, but it's the primary election. It's the time where everybody's gonna come out, everybody's gonna put in their vote, and we're gonna see who ends up winning this next election. I'm gonna say it now. I think Trump is going to win, but we will see.
So one thing and we're going to play the exclusive interview with the former president later on in the show, but one of the things I asked him is what he's going to do when it comes to the black community. When you see what's happening, this pivot, are you going to go into these cities? And when you talk with him, he says, just watch me. We got some stuff cooking up. He's supposed to be having a rally in the Bronx. So, I don't think you've ever seen a Republican candidate that goes in the hood. And I think that's important. If you got a president of the United States, former president, that is going to Chicago, going to Harlem, going to the Bronx, going to South Dallas, and rallying the troops, the men and women that feel like they're forgotten as well. The same stories that I hear from urban America is the same stories I hear from the middle America diners. And if the president can paint that picture for them, I think we got a big...
Real quick, Lawrence, we hear about black men.
Yeah.
Is your sense it is men, or is it men and women?
I think it is mostly men. I think the Democratic Party has focused on the base when it comes to black women are their base, and they're giving them everything that they want. But
Absolutely so true. So true. It is definitely more men that are waking up to these ideologies. Some women too. It's not just men, but it's mostly men. The Democratic Party does have a vice grip on a lot of African American females. And I don't know what it is exactly that got them like that, but they have them where they want them. They have them where they want them for sure. But it's starting to make a shift. We're starting to see a little shift change, man. I'm telling you, the Republican Party is coming different, and they are on a different type of time in this year, and they really want to impress the black voters, it's looking like.
But the black men feel like the family is under threat. They don't like what's happening in crime, and the illegal immigration issue is going to blow this wide open. When you have kids that are being kicked out of their rec centers and in their schools, and they're saying that they don't have enough funding for that, and all of a sudden they find funding for the legals, I think these brothers are not liking that too much.
Well, I would say that in 2016, during his first term, Donald Trump was pretty good to the Black community. He came through with HBSC, the historically Black colleges funding. He did the wages for Black Americans, the home ownership went up, and it seemed like Hispanics were the ones who made a difference. Not enough apparently, but in 2020, you saw a real shift in Hispanics. Do you think that what is happening in terms of crime and, again, illegal immigration is really enough to have them turn their backs from the Democrat Party?
Look, we
didn't see that in large numbers in the last election.
I'm never going to lie to the audience and say, hey, there's going to be this massive 40%, 50% difference. But I think, listen, this is a marathon. For a while, there was no Republicans in the community talking about these issues. But I do think he got record number last year, the last election that he ran. I think he could get up to 25 to 30%. If that happens,
it's a game changer.
That's it.
Yes, even increase 5, 7, 10% is a huge thing, no doubt.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Killen.
Well said. Well said. Definitely a shift. Definitely a shift is happening. Like I said, man, I'm excited to see what's going to happen this next session, because I know for sure a lot of Black people that I've been talking to lately, they are upset with what is going on in the Democratic Party right now, and it is looking bad. It is looking bad. But you guys know this: the Democratic Party they have their loyal followers that'll go Democratic all the way to the end, no matter who's the face of the Democratic Party, no matter what they've done in the Democratic Party. A lot of people are out here looking for peace and money, peace and prosperity. And right now, we're seeing a lot of war, and we're seeing a lot of homelessness going around the whole entire U.S. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys leave a like on the stream. We're going to get into this next video. And apparently in Illinois, Trump has been disqualified from the ballot. They're trying to take him off the ballot in Illinois. This is breaking news. Let's tune in.
The great defenders of democracy have now kicked Trump off another state ballot. Of course, this happened in Cook County, and Illinois Circuit Judge Tracy Porter has ruled that former President Trump is disqualified from the state's March 19th primary ballot and the general election over the, quote, anti-insurrection clause. Joining me now is Saul Weisenberg, former deputy independent counsel and Fox News contributor, and also back with us because of this breaking news, David Schoen, former Trump impeachment attorney. Saul, this never ceases to amaze me, but as all of these individuals are screaming about Russian election interference, Navalny is persecuted, all these political prisoners across, and now they need to knock him off the ballot. So no one has the opportunity to vote for him. Your reaction tonight?
Well, the arrogance of this is appalling, and waiting until this late in the day to do it, giving the former president, just until Friday to file an appeal to the Supreme Court. It's already Wednesday. And then to say, apparently at the end of it, she issues an order that says my ruling will be further stayed if the U.S. Supreme Court enters an opinion inconsistent with this order. Well, guess what?
I don't think that this is fair at all. I think that this is, honestly, it's illegal. I think that this is illegal, and I think that they should question every state and why they are trying to kick anyone off of the ballot that has not done anything illegally for them to deserve to be kicked off the ballot. I think that this is insane. And I think that this is a power play from the Democratic Party. And we're seeing how it's playing out. He's getting a lot of these appealed, but they just keep coming. These Democratic cities and these Democratic states, they just keep coming with these motions to kick Trump off the ballot. And this is just not right.
If they do what most people think they're going to do, they're going to enter an opinion that makes it impossible for Illinois to take him off the ballot. So the arrogance of that is just, it shouldn't astonish me, but it does.
Yeah, Tracy Porter, a Democrat appointee, joined the bench in 2021. Very, very liberal. Cook County is known for these type of judges. David, 31 states in total now have sued to kick the former president off the ballot. All right. Again, I want to repeat to everybody, as the Democrats are claiming they're running Joe Biden for re-election to protect.
Look at all the states that are pending or that have been dismissed and that have been appealed. And 2 states are still in the midst of disqualifying him, but they're probably going to get appealed eventually also. But all these states have tried to kick Trump off the ballot. And I mean, this is insane.
Protect democracy. They have to defeat Trump to protect democracy. Okay. All 3 have been successful. Those states in red: Maine, Colorado, and now Illinois. How is this democracy, David?
It's not democracy. It's as anti-democratic as it gets. They're going to get slammed by the Supreme Court. Illinois has long, and especially Cook County, long been heavy-handed with ballot access. I had to go into the federal district court there to challenge the constitutionality of ballot access law, and another heavy-handed move they made. They slammed them. They were so adamant about it. When I went to the 7th Circuit Court of Appeals, they sent 6 lawyers in to argue against me, and they lost again. They're going to lose this time. It's horrible. It sends a terrible message to the American people. Why are they afraid of the ballot? The ballot is what really makes this country work.
Yeah, they're looking at the polls. If Trump were down 30 points in the polls, I don't think any of these cases would have been brought. But Alito.
That's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. They're afraid that Trump is going to win, and they're trying to do everything in their power to make sure that that doesn't happen. Now, we understand why. We understand why some of these people are doing this. But at the same time, I think it's just fair to just let the people vote, man. Let the people pick. Let the people pick.
Raised a good point at the oral arguments. Watch.
If what Colorado did here is sustained, other states are going to retaliate, and they're going to potentially exclude another candidate from the ballot. What about that situation?
I don't think that this court should take those threats too seriously in its resolution of this case.
You don't think that's a serious threat?
Well, that's one of many great points that were raised in the obviously the seminal case that will decide all of this, Saul. But I mean, this could be keep going forward, tit for tat. You take my guy off, we're going to take your guy off, and so on and so on.
That is exactly what it's going to be. That's exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be a back and forth. You do this to me, I do this back to y'all. I'm surprised there's no states trying to kick Biden off the ballot because of this. I'm actually surprised. I know that they're kicking people out of their positions in the Senate and in the government and all that good stuff, but we'll see what happens.
Well, it's not going to be, because the Supreme Court is going to issue an opinion that makes it clear that a state does not have the power to do this. Number one, the state can't kick him off the ballot. Number two, the state cannot put a condition on being a presidential on the presidential ballot that is greater than what the Constitution calls for. So I don't think we're gonna reach that. But it's very, you know what they say about Cook County: vote early and vote often.
Yeah.
So as David says, this is
Corrupt.
completely consistent with their pathetic history of election non-integrity.
Yeah, that's a nice way of putting election fraud. Here's what this judge, Tracy Porter, who was responsible for this outrageous decision tonight in Illinois, this is what she said when she was appointed back in 2021. She said, "My motto is impacting lives and changing communities. And that is how I will approach this new position." David, last time I checked, that's not the role of a judge. That's the role perhaps of an activist or an NGO or maybe a representative. But she's put it right out there for us.
Yeah, and actually her role ought to be the enforcement of the Constitution, the First and 14th Amendment rights of the voters to vote for a candidate of their choice and of the candidate to be on the ballot. This is absolutely wrong. It's going to get slammed, but they ought to shut it down immediately. And she should probably be sanctioned because she knows what she did is wrong.
Right.
She knows the matter is pending at the Supreme Court.
Yeah, Saul, that's a very good point. I mean, not to get too wonky here, but they know this is going to be overturned. But it was like she had to put down her chit here and say, I'm with those people. Like she wanted to get recognition for doing this. This was an act of complete narcissism on her part.
I can't lie. There's a big trend going on with these black women against Trump. I'm now realizing it. We got Fannie Willis in Atlanta. We got the judge in New York. And now we got this woman. This is insane. I didn't notice. I didn't notice until now. So this is a little bit weird for me. Because we just talked about how some blacks are now going towards the Republican Party, but there's, like I said, there's still a bunch that are loyal Democrats.
And probably an effort to set herself up, if I would guess, in the future for some type of huge accolade or promotion. But everyone knows the court's going to overturn this, and she went ahead anyway.
She wants to be a footnote in history, I guess, or to get a future Profile and Courage Award. I don't think that she'll be sanctioned because she's a judge, and unfortunately it's very difficult to do that. But it strikes me that the real outrage here is the timing. If she really felt this strongly about this, I don't exactly know why she waited until this late to do it.
Yeah,
but
excellent point.
David is right.
Hey, listen, man. They can try and try and try all they want. Let me know how you guys feel about this in the comments, but I don't think any of this stuff is going to work. They're trying to throw everything at Trump, and I just don't see it happening, man. I just don't see him not winning this year. And they can try and try and try all they want, but if they're not going to be successful, it's going to be a blowout. And the more and more that they throw at him, the bigger and more powerful he is getting. It doesn't make sense, but this is the way it's working out. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Make sure you guys leave a like on the stream. We're gonna move on to the next subject. I hope you guys are having a blessed day. This is the part of the show where I kind of hate it because it sucks, and this is a sad part of the show. But we gotta bring it to the people because we want this stuff to eventually stop. We want this stuff to eventually stop. So there was a substitute teacher that was assaulted in his classroom, probably, and the kid was not charged at all. Let's tune into this video and see what's happening over here.
Turning now to IT Mate and a 75-year-old substitute teacher who says he was assaulted by a student earlier this month. He's sharing his story now because he says the student was never arrested. IT Mate's Cody Fisher sat down with the teacher who tells his side of the story.
Before Rob Gooding was taken by ambulance from Perry Meridian High School to the hospital, he told school police he wanted to press charges. Nearly a month later, the student still hasn't been charged.
Anything like this ever happened?
No. Look at the lump on his eye, yo. Man, I don't know what's going on out here with these baby kids, but if the teachers got to start fighting back, they got to start getting a belt for these kids, man. They got to start getting a belt and getting real strict and disciplined on these kids. It can't be happening in high schools. This can't be happening in schools, period.
Rob Gooding started substitute teaching after he retired. He was in the middle of teaching a business class at Perry Meridian High School when a student attacked him.
I saw him come up and he says, "I've had it." And he came down and I rocked the Chromebook. That's where that hole went. And it shut me down like this. And then all of a sudden, he hovered over me and with his left hand, whammed me.
The assault left him with a severe black eye.
Ooh. Ooh. Look at my guy. Jeez. This student got him really good, man. Poor guy. Poor guy. Poor guy.
This man child, he was 6'2", 280 pounds.
When paramedics arrived, Gooding said a district police officer was by his side. Immediately, you said, I want to press charges.
Yes, he said to me,
Wow. 6'2", 280 pounds of force coming at him like that. This kid should be expelled.
Have been instructed by the higher ups, which is the district, not to handcuff or arrest the kid. And I said, what? And he said, yes, that came from the higher ups.
In a statement, Perry Township Schools said, we are disturbed by the allegations involving a Kelly Services employee and student at Perry Meridian High School. Perry police responded to the incident quickly. A police report was forwarded to the Marion County Prosecutor's Office. Prosecutors will then make a criminal charge decision. Due to confidentiality reasons, Perry Township Schools cannot comment on disciplinary action it takes against its students. We can say, however, the district has zero tolerance for violence.
They have not discussed anything about him being arrested or anything.
And you still want to press charges?
Oh, yeah. And I haven't heard a thing. If I was out there on Meridian and he did that to me, where would he be? He has to be accountable for his actions.
Wow. Look at his eye. Look what this kid did to his eye, yo. Yo, if I'm him, I'm suing the school too at this point. If they ain't gonna help out, we gotta take this to the courts. We gotta take this to the courts. Wow, man. Yo, these kids are out of control. These kids are out of control. Comment your thoughts down below on what you guys think about this situation. I think that we watching a whole bunch of baby kids running out these streets, being rampant, and they are just taking advantage of whatever situation they're in, and they are not disciplined at all. They're disrespectful, and it's going to end up really, really sad for a bunch of these kids that end up like this. It's gonna be sad. It's gonna be sad. If young kids are watching this, right? Stay in school, respect your teachers, definitely respect your parents, listen to your parents, and understand what your parents say and understand what your teachers say, because in the long run, it could possibly help you. It could possibly help you, especially your parents. Always obey your parents. But let's continue, man. This is crazy what is going on. We got another crime topic that we got to get into, and apparently a teen is facing some murder charges for shooting a store clerk. And this again, we bring this stuff up because we just, at the end of the day, we want it to stop. We want it to stop. There's no reason why a young man should be in handcuffs for trying to shoot someone else. But let's tune into the video and see what happened.
This morning, a teen is facing a murder charge over a bag of chips. 17-year-old Mario Young and another teenager turned themselves in after a convenience store clerk was shot and killed in Humboldt. The teens claim it was self-defense. The security cameras captured most of what led up to the shooting, but not the actual shooting. Only on two. Reporter Corley Peel sat down with a witness who not only saw what happened, but even called 911. Corley, good morning.
Good morning, Zach.
So walk us through what happened. This was back on January 19th at this store. Talk to us about what happened and what these teens were doing.
Yeah, so like you mentioned, the surveillance video shows a lot about what happened inside the store. So you can see those two teens, they walk inside, and right behind them, that's the clerk. He makes his way behind them, and when they get inside the store, you see them head towards some of the aisles, and they're just walking around for a little bit, and you can see the clerk behind them with a mop bucket. So eventually the teens, they walk inside, they look around for a little bit. One of the teens makes his way to the chip aisle, and eventually you will see this on camera, but you can see that teen walking towards the aisle, and it looks like he grabs one of the bags of chips and then puts it in his pants. And then
Why are there so many damn baby kids walking around these streets? We can't take our kids nowhere without them acting a fool, stealing something, disrespecting somebody, or shooting somebody. When are we going to say to our kids that we raise up, it is not okay to do this stuff? It's not okay. When I was growing up, man, I respected the police. My parents put it in me. They put the fear of God. They said, yo, we don't want to see you end up in jail or prison. This is how you do things. And what did I do? I took those lessons and I ran with them. And I can proudly say I've never been to prison in my life. But we got other kids running around here like it's okay just to do this stuff. This is insane.
and eventually they leave the store. So they're in here for only about 2 minutes. They're not in here for very long before one of the teens appears to grab a bag of chips, puts it in his pants, and then walks away. So this surveillance video is a key piece of evidence because it helped identify who the two people in the store are. Eventually, the clerk notices what the teens do.
Look at this guy,
And
man.
the
Look at
surveillance
this
video
guy.
will show that clerk confronting the teens as they're walking
Look
out
at
of the
this
store.
guy.
They appear to
It's a $2 bag of chips, my guy. It's $2. You shouldn't be going to the store if you can't afford it. Stay your behind home.
get into some sort of confrontation as he's confronting them, and then one thing leads to another after that, and the rest of the shooting happens off-site. Not far from there, just kind of down the road a little bit, because the clerk gets in his car, follows the teens, and as the teens are, he tries to approach them as they're walking, and one of the teens opens fire and shoots, and eventually the clerk died from.
Y'all heard the story? 2 baby kids walk into a store, think everything is sweet, steal a $2 bag of chips. They leave the store. The clerk notices that they steal the chips, so he ends up following them. He follows them with his car, gets out the car, tries to confront them. And what do these 2 kids do? They pull out a gun and they shoot the owner of the store. What can I say? What am I supposed to say? Am I supposed to say they was in the right? Am I supposed to say that the store owner should have never followed them? Maybe yes. Maybe yes. It's a $2 bag of chip. He shouldn't have followed them. But still, the point of the matter is, these dudes walked into his store, took his property, and then shot him because of it. This is sad, ladies and gentlemen, man. We got to do better.
His wounds.
I know the surveillance video we just saw, Corley. You could see the clerk at the top of the screen with what appears to be a mop bucket. Also, in the upper left-hand corner of the screen, we saw another person. Is that the witness you spoke to?
No.
No.
The witness I spoke to was outside in the parking lot. He had been working in that area and he was just taking a break. So he was sitting in his truck, minding his own business, and he happened to see what happened outside the store when he saw the clerk confronting the teens. He says he didn't think anything of it really. He noticed that maybe the clerk was accusing the teens of stealing something, but he said that interaction really didn't look that serious. And so he just kind of minded his own business, but he did see the clerk eventually get in his car and follow the teens.
It was not that serious. It wasn't. It wasn't. It was over a bag of chips. Literally. We got to do better. We got to do better. We got to do better. I mean, seriously, like we can't be known for this nonsense. This is crazy. This is crazy. We cannot be known for all this demonic stuff. Stealing, killing, destroying. It seems to be a cycle that a lot of us is just dealing with. But I'm tired of seeing it. So that's why we bring it to the front of the people, man. Let me know y'all thoughts down below in the comments. And shoot, we got to do better. Kids, teens, we got to do better. Parents, raise your kids the right way. Raise your kids the right way. This is chaotic. And we're going to have the same kids out there looking to get help from the government and telling us that the police should stop killing us, even though we're killing each other. It's too much going on. It's too much going on. Let's move on to the next topic, y'all. Let's move on to the next topic. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. We're going to take it now back to Queens. Apparently, there's been a laundryman that hid over 40 migrants in his laundry basement in Queens. This is crazy. No more shelters for these people. They gotta find people's houses to coop up in, and they're doing it. They're finding ways in New York to just maneuver around this entire thing, and it's looking like it's working out for a lot of these migrants. The ones that are not, trying to do the illegal stuff. Let's tune into this video, man. Let me know how y'all feel about this down in the comments also.
Breaking news out of Queens, where police say they have found nearly dozens of migrants living in a small, cramped basement. Emergency services have now been called for this. And News 4's Melissa Colorado is at that scene live in South Richmond Hill. Melissa, we're talking about up to 40 people living in this basement space at one time?
Adam, it's actually more. I just spoke to the landlord, and he confirmed to me that he had 74 migrants living in this property, living in the basement. You can see police officers are here on scene. It's all part of this ongoing investigation. And I also spoke to the neighbor, the next door neighbor, who said she was the one who called 311. She made the complaints. She said she was just concerned for her safety because of noticing all of the e-bikes that were parked next door to her property. Now, we're being told this all started with FDNY inspectors looking into that complaint made by that next door neighbor about multiple e-bike batteries found near the side of the home. And the landlord confirming for us, yes, in fact, he had 74 migrants sleeping in shifts, sleeping in bunk beds, sleeping in the basement of this property. He said he felt bad for these migrants, most of them from Africa, who were trying to make a living out here and not being found any shelter here. Now, officials started asking questions.
I know half the world is saying we don't want these migrants here, but they here and they getting help from the citizens. And the other half of the world that wants them to come in. Over 70 people. 70 people was squished up, laying on top of each other in a bunk bed in Queens, in a basement. And most of them are African. Most of them is from Zimbabwe or Nigeria or Congo. This is crazy, y'all. This is
And
crazy.
it discovered as many as 80 migrants, but we're being told right now that number is 74. They were sleeping in shifts in the basement of this home. The fire department has issued a full vacate order. Now, of course, you'll recall the city has limited the amount of time that single adult migrants can stay in city-run shelters to 30 days. Migrants can reapply for shelter at a reticketing center in the East Village, but the landlord telling me these migrants were tired of waiting. They were tired of trying to sleep outdoors, and this was the best option he could provide for them. This basement behind this furniture store here in Queens that you can see is now, there's been a full vacate order. Nobody can go in, but this landlord telling me he felt horrible. He felt sorry for these migrants. He was trying to find some kind of option, some type of shelter for them. And they had been staying there in bunk beds, sleeping in shifts, only 2 bathrooms. In fact, he also told me he was trying to find porta potties for them because he had as many as 74 men sleeping in that basement. But
Can we get a picture or something of this landlord? We need to see what this guy looks like. We gotta see. He's so nice. They must be so nice in New York. New York, is this how you guys feel about y'all migrants? Y'all are so nice. Y'all are so nice. Y'all are just letting them come in and letting them sleep in y'all basements and just stacking a bunch of people in there and just feeding them and clothing them, and y'all are nice. It's regardless of what they say about New York, how much rats, how much big rats, how much trash, how bad it stinks. We can say they care about them migrants. We can say that for sure.
right now, we're trying to find out more information from the FDNY, from the NYPD, as far as what goes on from here and where these migrants will go. Again, we're being told as many as 74 men were living in this basement. Take a listen.
When I told them that they don't want to go, because they all say they don't want to go. They rather stay here than go back over there. Okay, I was trying to, talk to them, talk to the guy who was in charge. He told me that he promised me that they will have a place for them. They have a place for them. This is what he told me. We have a place for them. They're going somewhere. I told him, are you sure of that? Because I don't want them to go back through the same thing again. That's why they're here.
And Adam, as I mentioned before, I spoke to the next door neighbor who said she was concerned about her safety, noticing all those e-bike batteries that were basically being charged next door to her property. Of course, you've been hearing all the headlines with fires started by these defective lithium-ion batteries, and that woman saying, I was just scared for my safety, for my property, for the house, and for my family as well. Adam, we'll send it back to you.
Wow, Melissa, just to be clear, the landlord's saying that he wasn't charging them, that he was just having them stay there for free?
It was a donation system, people pulling in resources, people pulling in money. But according to this landlord, who is a migrant himself, he was just saying, I felt horrible for these men. They had nowhere else to go. And this was the solution I could provide, a basement with bunk beds, people sleeping in shifts. He said the city was just not providing another alternative for these men who had nowhere else to go. That is according to the landlord. And of course, you'll be hearing from him later today at 4 o'clock.
Y'all are so nice in New York. You know what? I got a whole different mindset with New York. Y'all are so nice. I thought y'all were upset about these migrants, but it seems no. Y'all want them to come in. Y'all don't mind sheltering them for free. Y'all don't mind giving them money. Y'all don't mind giving them shelter. Y'all don't mind giving them food. It's a beautiful thing. You know what? And I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. Shout outs to New York, man. Hand clap for New York. Hand clap for New York. They love the migrants. They love the migrants in New York. This is insane. Let me know how you guys feel about that down below in the comments. If you guys are really from New York, are you guys really liking it over there? Is this what you guys asked for? Or are they still just pushing this stuff on you guys? Let me know how you feel about that in the comments, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to get into the next topic. It's still sticking on the migrants. And shoot, apparently there's been another fight at a migrant shelter. This time, a security guard gets hit. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Let's get into this video, y'all. Let's get into it.
More violence involving migrants.
2 people were arrested after yet another fight breaks out at the Randall's Island shelter.
Fox 5's Morgan McKay joins us now in studio. And Morgan, the mayor planning to take some major action in response to this latest accident.
Stephen and Tasha, at least 2 migrants were arrested and charged yesterday after a fight broke out at the Randall's Island migrant shelter. But this comes as Mayor Eric Adams is also pushing for changes to the sanctuary city laws that would allow the NYPD to turn migrants accused of a crime over to ICE.
You don't have to be a behavioral scientist to state that we're creating a terrible environment.
Mayor Eric Adams says the city is installing metal detectors at the migrant shelter on Randall's Island, and he is planning a visit to the site after another fight broke out at the shelter Monday night. According to the NYPD, a 23-year-old migrant struck a security guard in the face, causing a scuffle. 2 migrants were placed under arrest and charged, but this marks the 3rd violent incident to occur at the shelter in
3rd violent incident to occur just at this shelter alone. First time it was a security guard. Next time it was a police officer. Now again, another security guard. This time, luckily, the security guard is still living. New York, you asked for it. Do you guys still like it over there? Do y'all still enjoy these migrants coming in? Y'all are a sanctuary city. Let us know. Let us know. Do y'all prefer the migrants or the rats?
just the last several months. Adams again renewed his call to the White House to give migrants faster access to work papers.
You place 1,000 people in one setting and tell them they can't work. All they can do is sit around all day. Tempers flare.
Adams is also making it clear that he wants to make changes to the sanctuary city laws. Under Mayor Ed Koch and Mayor Michael Bloomberg, the NYPD was allowed to alert ICE when a migrant was accused or arrested for allegedly committing crimes. However, now migrants are only passed along to ICE if they have been convicted of a crime. Immigration advocates are staunchly against this change, and Council Speaker Adrienne Adams says she has no plans of introducing anything like this legislatively. But Adams says migrants accused of committing multiple robberies should not be allowed to wait here while their case plays out.
They didn't give due process to the person that they shot or punched or killed. We can't have these small number of migrants and asylum seekers that have identified that they're going to be dangerous, hide under the law.
An audit by the city comptroller was also released on Tuesday that showed the city has been overcharged at times for migrant services due to the city procuring no-bid contracts.
What we're calling for now is to go through a procurement process that would make sure we get the most competitive price for all these services.
Adams defended the contracts on Tuesday, saying they did the best they could at the time when these contracts were inked.
Because of our response, no child, no family sleeps on the streets of the city of New York.
Now, Adams says he also did not meet with the president during his trip to the city, but emphasized the need for President Joe Biden.
I'm not tired of seeing this stuff, honestly. It don't seem like they really want to fix this issue, so we're going to see it still going to continue to happen. I mean, they, at the end of the day, they kind of asked for this. They kind of asked for this. They said they're a sanctuary city. They wanted to make sure that the migrants that are coming in are well taken care of, and they're getting fed, they're getting paid to stay here, and they're getting their affordable housing. And people are upset about it, but it looks like a good amount of people are happy with it. They're happy with this nonsense that keeps going on. They're happy with these illegal ones that are coming in and destroying the place. They're happy with it. If it's not true, then let me know how y'all feel about it, New York. Let me know how y'all feel about it. I'll tell you right now, I would hate to have this happening in my city, as bad as it is, crime-wise. Because we know the immigrants are coming in regardless. It's the illegal ones that we're worried about. Let me know how you guys feel about this down in the comments, man. I'm praying for New York. A lot of nonsense is going on over there, and y'all are infested right now. It's a whole invasion. Let's tune into this next video. Though we thought that it was bad over here with the migrant crisis. No, it's not just bad over here. It's also bad in Ireland. It's also very, very bad in Ireland. And you know what the people are saying in Ireland? Ireland is full. Ireland is full. We don't want y'all here. Let's tune into the video, y'all.
I feel very threatened. I'm afraid to go out on my own. My sons won't let me go out on my own.
Ireland's anti-immigration backlash has spiraled into countrywide unrest in recent months, after a sharp rise in the number of foreigners arriving onto its shores.
Unfortunately, I think Ireland is becoming the new Sweden.
Protests, arson attacks, and hardening anti-immigration views have transfused Irish politics with a fervor not seen.
We thought that the U.S. was the only place dealing with these migrants. No. It is so bad in Ireland that they are protesting on the streets. They're fighting against the National Guard. They're fighting against their police officers, protesting, lighting cars on fire to get their message across that we do not want these people sleeping on our streets in Ireland.
Since the Troubles.
How long are you going to stay out here for?
As long as it takes.
My name's Michael Murphy, and I went to Ireland for the Telegraph to find out what Irish people make of the growing strife. I started my journey in Dublin, where hundreds of people turned out for an anti-immigration march.
We're just fed up with the Irish government. We're just fed up with them. It's like a mass plantation what they're doing here. There's so many unvetted male people being brought over to this country, and they're planting them all in around schools, parks, and we're all feeling very unsafe. We're worried for our children.
Does that not sound familiar, U.S. citizens? Does this not sound familiar, Americans? We ain't the only ones that are dealing with this issue.
Cannot sustain a huge number, that level of foreign people living within the borders of this country, many of which are living off social welfare because they're being attracted here because of the loose welfare laws and immigration laws of the state.
Look after the Irish.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Look after the Irish.
Just messing around with our heads, this whole government, and I don't trust what's going on. I just want I think they're puppets for other powers, the elites, the WHO and all the rest of it, and possibly even King Charles. Just puppets for somebody else, and they're not caring for our own people.
Yo, these talking points is the same talking points I heard they saying in Chicago. I heard they saying this in Texas. I heard them saying this in California. They don't care about the people that actually live there. They're doing more for the people that are coming in. These are the same exact talking points. And this is insane because it's happening all over the world. Every place right now is getting invaded in some type of fashion.
But the Irish and the long-term homeless here from all over the world are living and sleeping in the streets. The council come and take their tents and burn their goods or dump them. And these people are on a housing list 20 and 30 years. But if you come in here off a plane with no passport, you're safe. It's just not right. So there. And to anyone listening to this, call me what the hell you like. Little do I care. Thank you.
Some people have described marches like this as far right. Are you far right?
No, I am a concerned father. I have 3 children. I have 2 daughters and I have a son, 11, 9 and 7. That's why I'm here. Listen, the mainstream media don't report on what goes on really in these areas. There's kids being abducted, there's kids being assaulted, there's kids being raped, there's women being raped, and the mainstream media will not report on it.
Look at what is happening in the streets of Ireland, y'all. In the streets of Ireland, y'all, they're taking over the streets of Ireland also. They're living in tents on the streets. They're out there homeless on the streets, trying to get and feed off the government the same way they're doing in the United States. How do y'all feel about this, people of Ireland? How do y'all feel about this? It looks like it's not okay over there either. I'd like to know what you guys think about this down in the comments. A lot of people are saying the same thing. Y'all are dealing with the same issues. Y'all are having the crime. Y'all are having the rapes. Y'all are having the murders. Y'all are having the people taking up your space. It's all happening in the U.S. too, and it's happening with you guys too, man. I can't feel bad for y'all.
Find out more about where the anger is coming from. I went to a traditional Irish pub in the heart of Dublin to sit down with dissident journalist Ben Scallon.
The issue of immigration didn't really come up much in Irish politics. I think we're probably unique in the sense that it's been a major election issue in the UK, in Germany, in America, but across the Western world, while this conversation was unfolding, Irish people haven't really discussed it at election time. And then now, I think around 2019 or 2018, that sort of time period, we saw the beginnings of protests around asylum centers being moved into local areas. And I think that's simply due to a significant uptick that we were seeing, where it was far bigger numbers than what we had experienced previously.
And why do you think the government has made Ireland's borders more porous and has, as you said, rung the dinner bell for asylum seekers and other migrants around the world?
I think that the Irish government is primarily concerned with appearing to be a modern European country, and they admire their European colleagues. They admire countries like Scandinavian countries like Sweden and so on that are progressive and very trendy, I suppose, if you want to put it that way. Unfortunately, I think Ireland is becoming the new Sweden in a way, because the same way people used to talk about Sweden several years ago, that it was this country that was totally off the rails. They've got total strife, total ghettoization. It seems like having seen the failure of that policy in countries like Sweden and in countries like Germany and France, we want to replicate it for some reason that I don't quite understand.
The Irish government has bussed refugees, often at night and with little warning, into towns like Roscrea, sparking local anger and weeks-long demonstrations. I went to Roscrea, where locals have been protesting for 3 weeks outside the town's only hotel, closed down last month after the government struck a deal with its owner to house more than 160 asylum seekers there.
I am out here, first of all, I'm a mother.
They closed down the only hotel in Ireland to house all the migrants. Y'all don't even got space for these migrants. Why are y'all even doing this? I know the hotel owner's happy because you know what? He's probably getting paid. He's probably getting paid. Let's continue, man. Let's finish off this.
And I'm very, very concerned about the level of migration that's happening into our town. We are one of the smallest towns in Tipperary, and we have 85% of international protection applicants. That's a huge number for any town, but for a small town like Roscrea that doesn't have any resources, we have over 1,000 IPAs in town. There's only 5,500 of a population in this town. That's a huge amount to expect anybody to take on.
Some people have said that the town has changed over the last few years. They're scared to go out at night. The playground is left without children.
I think we get the gist of it, man. I think we get the gist of it. It's happening. It's happening all over the world. It's not just happening in the United States. It is happening in almost every sector that people think is a good place to find shelter in. And like I said, I don't blame these people for trying to find a better life. I don't blame those ones that are trying to actually, work hard and do what they have to do to be good citizens of wherever they choose to migrate to. But the people that everyone seems to be worried about are those negative demons that keep coming in and destroying, and they're killing, and they're stealing, and they're doing it in Ireland. And the people are upset about these immigration laws in Ireland also. So let me know how you guys feel about this down in the comments. I definitely want to know y'all thoughts, because it's interesting to see that it's not just happening with us in the United States, it's happening throughout the world. Um, Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate y'all viewership. I think we're gonna get into I think we're gonna get into two more videos. We're gonna get into two more videos. Definitely one, we want to talk about the wildfires that's happening in Texas. Um, but we also want to talk about more New York crime. And that's what we're gonna start off with. We're gonna start off with New York crime. New York, New York, New York. What's going on? What's going on? Y'all back in the headlines. Apparently, there's been a guy running around on a bicycle, stealing wallets, stealing purses, and he's wanted right now. And the police officers cannot find him. Let's tune in to see what's going on in the streets of New York.
Well, tonight, some New Yorkers on high alert in the Central Park area, where police say a robbery pattern is unfolding. Thank you for staying with us. I'm Candace Gibson.
I'm Erin LeBeau. Police say the thief or thieves ride a bike to target their victims. Our Amy Yancey is live on the Upper West Side with more on this. Amy.
Hi there, and I've been talking to people throughout the afternoon, and they sound both alarmed and quite disappointed that someone would use a city bike, a service that's supposed to be good transportation for New Yorkers, to actually target people, multiple people in this area. Now, according to police, this all started Sunday evening, and a total of 4 people were targeted. The first incident was here at Central Park West and 86th Street. That was around 7:50 at night. The suspect demanded that a 42-year-old woman hand over her purse, we're told, and when she refused, the male shoved her to the ground but didn't take anything. About 25 minutes later, at 72nd Street, a male suspect on a city bike again approached, this time a 15-year-old girl, and scared her into handing over her cell phone and demanding that she also give her password. Then the person rode off again. A third woman was targeted minutes later, a few blocks away. Also on Sunday, she tried to break up a dispute between a suspect and another woman, and then the suspect actually turned his attention on her and tried to steal from her because she intervened. The suspect also, we're told, flashed what seemed to be a gun, or gave the impression that he may have been armed, stole her.
Y'all got people out here renting not the free bikes, renting the bikes that we see in New York all over the place, with a gun in their hands, in their pockets, running around robbing women, robbing straight women at night. This has only happened to women. All the victims so far, women. It's not safe out here in these streets, man. It's not safe. It's not safe. The devil is running rampant, and he does not care. He don't care what time of day, especially when he's out at night. He love being out at night. Y'all gotta be careful in these streets, for real.
Hat and then rode off on a city bike again. And the last known incident was on East Drive of Central Park at 109th Street, where the suspect or suspects, we don't know at this point, demanded property from a woman in her 30s. She also refused, and that incident, a witness actually helped her out, and we're told that the suspect pushed the victim and then again rode off on a city bike. In each case,
All women. All women walking down the streets at night. You cannot even walk down the public street of Central Park, New York, without being interrupted by someone trying to rob you on a bike. That is sad, people.
Case, as you heard,
Sad.
females, women, young women, adult women are being targeted in the area. So we spoke to women who are here today, and they're very alarmed about this and they're worried. Take a listen.
I'm not feeling safe at all. I normally don't feel safe walking around because I saw sometimes people stealing purse and wallets.
You've seen
And
that.
yeah, I saw that.
I just live my life normally. I don't want to live in fear. It's unfortunate, and I hope he's caught.
Those was migrants speaking because they're not they got a accent, a heavy accent. Both of them got a heavy accent. But thank you guys for tuning in, man. Let me know how you guys feel about that in the comments down below. Hopefully they catch this guy or this group that has been terrorizing the streets of New York on a bicycle. It's insane. It's insane. Thank you guys for tuning in. I love and I appreciate you guys so much. Make sure you guys leave a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if y'all are new. We got one more video that we're going to get into, and that is involving Texas. There is huge fires going on, huge fires going on right now as we're speaking in Texas, and it is taking over. We got smoke coming all across the United States just because of this, and it is very, very, very sad what is going on. Let's tune in and see what's going on with these
Behind by the
wildfires.
flames. It's still burning in some places here. Just so you can get an idea of the threat, the largest fire in Texas right now is less than 5% contained. It is growing so fast, it's on its way to approaching the largest fire in Texas state history.
Tonight, the series of exploding wildfires tearing across northern Texas, leaving a path of destruction. Massive walls of fire incinerating homes, cars, and businesses, and overwhelming first responders.
Pull out, everybody, pull out.
Flames surround roads as residents flee to safety. The Smokehouse Creek fire, the largest of at least 5 fires in the Panhandle, now stretching more than 120 miles.
With high winds behind it, I mean, these fires are just moving quicker than anybody can kind of get around at this point.
The unfolding catastrophe, fueled by strong winds, unseasonably high temperatures, and dry grass, forcing cattle in Hutchinson County to run from the flames. Officials telling residents in the town of Fridge to prepare themselves as many as 100 homes may be completely lost.
At this angle coming toward us,
Alta Hudson watched as flames destroyed homes in his neighborhood.
there was a lot of smoke and a whole lot of heat. It was so hot that it was hard to breathe.
Tonight, the governor issuing disaster.
This is insane. I don't want to be the one to say, man, the world might be coming to an end, but with all these wildfires going on, the world might be coming to an end. It might be coming to an end. All this nonsense going on in the world? We might be in the end times, man. We might be in the end times. I've heard that before, but it just doesn't seem to stop.
Declarations for 60 counties urging residents to take all precautions to keep loved ones safe. So far, more than 850,000 acres, an area larger than the size of Rhode Island, already up in smoke. An unfolding disaster impacting lives at historic rates. Guad Venegas, NBC News, Fridge, Texas.
Thanks.
That is crazy. We are praying for Texas, man. Oh man, this is just a sad sight right here. So many acres of land gone, the size of Rhode Island. Well, Rhode Island's pretty big. It's a pretty big state. We're praying for Texas. We're praying for the people of Texas. We're hoping that they can recover their damaged goods. in any form. Hopefully, we'll keep in touch. We'll keep in touch with what's going on in Texas with these wildfires. It is still burning as we speak. And it is a serious disaster that's happening over there on these streets in Texas. So we're praying for these people, praying that everything works out for them. We're praying that they get this fire under control, and we praying that people make it out alive out of this situation, and nobody is injured or hurt. Um, Thank you guys for tuning in. This was episode 26. It was another dope episode. We will be back later on in the week. So make sure you guys turn on those notifications so you guys can get in tune to when I am coming back on live. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. Make sure you guys leave a like on your way out and hit that subscribe button. Like I said, if you're rocking with me, enjoy the rest of y'all night. It's a beautiful day. It was a beautiful day. I hope I was entertaining for you guys tonight. And if not, next time I will be for sure. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And until next time, do what you got to do this week. Get to it. Get to your bag. Peace.